Hello and welcome to my channel! As many of you know, this has been a big year of self-discovery and art journeying for me. As part of that, my videos have kind of evolved from strict realism into experimentation, that 24-hour challenge, that week locked in my apartment, and now, to build on this culmination of experiences, I thought I would do another thing. As someone who is very strict and tight to photorealism, I thought, what would happen if we took a realistic kind of gal and took away her reference to realism? This week, I'm going to be making paintings entirely without the use of a reference photo. If you guys would like to purchase any of the paintings you see in this video or other videos, make sure you check out robinclontz.com where I sell my work. Let's actually get into the video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Hello! Welcome to the voiceover! This was such an experience for me, getting rid of my reference images and relying on my imagination. I am so closely linked to my reference photos. I take them, I work from them, they matter a lot to me. And I think reference photos are incredible, so don't get me wrong, getting rid of these is by no means me saying they should be gone from anyone's experience. Even if you're not using them directly to create these super close photorealistic images, they're so helpful for just drawing ideas, for getting a sense of something from which you can kind of branch out. And so in the future, if I'm making paintings more similar to this vein, what ended up being really like a hyper-saturated sort of surreal painting, which I was really into and kind of just evolved intuitively. I didn't even mean for it to happen, but like that's what happened when I got rid of my reference photo. Anyways, if I were doing this in the future, I still would probably look at references just to draw ideas. But what was amazing from this whole experience was that I was able to kind of, just from my brain, draw some vague concepts that I'd worked with and just play them out in a very unique way that is just purely what my brain was kind of coming up with. It takes away some of the control, and it's interesting because it kind of gives you insight into some of your inner workings. Maybe this seems obvious to someone who works more creatively than I do and isn't as closely tight to their references, but having your creativity flow and direct you rather than an image is a new experience for me and something I really enjoyed a lot. It was really incredible too, having the experience of having worked with landscape for so many years, that I was able to kind of see where that knowledge had sunk in ways that I wasn't aware of, where I was able to draw these kind of references from different parts of my brain and put them together into these new images. It kind of taught me some of the things that I've learned in terms of the way you develop perspective and composition, the way you work on different landforms, and what kind of things I chose to work on based on what kind of paintings I've done before. So based on that, I definitely had a strong tie to land, to mountain scenes, to rivers, to oceans, and you'll see that in these three paintings that come about. Another thing I was really interested in was this kind of repetition between these first two paintings of these mound-like shapes. The first one, they were clouds, but they had a very strong mountainous characteristic that was echoed in this painting. Definitely some reference to where I'm living, to the land of Utah, and the kind of visuals that I experience out here. Something that surprised me and just kind of developed intuitively was this tie to a surreal image of the landscape. That's not something I normally explore, but for some reason I was drawn to this idea of doing hyper-saturated and very flattened colors, which I think ended up creating really interesting aesthetics that I am very interested in exploring more in the future. And for my very last image, I decided to go into something familiar. I did the ocean, but I did a very alien take on it. My color scheme was super different from anything you would see in life, and once again, that's just thanks to this weird concept of, you know, pulling ideas from your head. How weird for an artist to be creative and pull ideas from their head. Seems like a thing that should be more intuitive, but for me, just coming from a background of being very traditional, I just haven't worked like this before, so it was really valuable to me. I'm super interested in doing a longer format type of this video. All of these paintings I did in one day, but I think it would be really nice to try this out over a week of painting. If you guys are interested in seeing me develop this idea more and would like that kind of video, make sure you leave a like on this so I can get some affirmation, and comment down below to let me know as well. And if you guys have any ideas for other creative constraints I can put on myself to try out these different types of videos I've been doing lately, I would love to hear them, so drop me a comment. And let me know what you think of these new paintings, what you think of this style as compared to the other types of paintings I do.
I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and are subscribed for new videos coming out every Friday-ish. If you guys would like to see what I'm doing in between these videos, make sure you're following me on my social media accounts, especially Instagram, and on my Patreon, where you can get additional content. I'll leave all the links for that down below, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.